Her head leaned against the cold window of seat 18A. Outside, the sky was dark blue, calm, endless. Inside the cabin, soft engine noise mixed with quiet breathing, the sound people make when they believe they are safe. Her name was Maya Collins. To everyone else on the plane, she was just another tired passenger. Black jacket, messy hair, headphones on, shoes kicked slightly forward. Someone who boarded last. Someone who didn't talk. Someone invisible. The flight attendants had already passed her twice without noticing anything special. The plane was cruising at 35,000 feet. No turbulence, no warning lights, no reason to worry. Then the music in her headphones stopped. A sharp click. The intercom crackled. "Attention, flight crew." Maya's eyes opened instantly. Not slowly, not confused. Instant. Her body reacted before her mind did. She pulled one headphone off. The captain's voice came again, but this time it was not the calm voice passengers were used to. It was tight, controlled, forced. "We're experiencing a minor technical issue. Please remain seated." Minor. Maya frowned. She sat up slightly and looked around. Most passengers barely reacted. A man across the aisle kept scrolling on his phone. A woman adjusted her blanket. Someone laughed softly, as if it were nothing. But Maya noticed things others didn't. The plane felt wrong. Not shaking, not violent, but uneven. A subtle roll to the left. A correction? Then another correction. Her fingers tightened on the armrest. She glanced toward the front. A flight attendant stood frozen near the galley, one hand gripping the counter. Her smile was gone. Maya's heartbeat slowed. That scared her more than panic ever could. The intercom clicked again. This time there was no introduction, no polite tone, just truth slipping through cracks. Autopilot disengaged, attempting manual control. A murmur spread through the cabin. Someone whispered, "What does that mean?" Another voice said, "Is that bad?" The plane dipped just a little. "Enough." A child whimpered. Maya removed her headphones completely. She leaned forward, eyes fixed on nothing and everything at once. Her mind went somewhere else. Not the cabin, not the passengers. Cockpits, simulators, warning tones screaming while instructors shouted, "Fly the aircraft." She hadn't thought about that life in years. She told herself she was done. The intercom crackled again. This time the captain inhaled before speaking. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently addressing a flight control problem. Please stay calm. Stay calm." Maya exhaled slowly. Her feet pressed flat against the floor. The plane rolled again, harder this time. Overhead bins rattled. Someone screamed. The seatbelt sign lit up. Then suddenly, the plane dropped. Not a gentle drop, a real one. Screams exploded across the cabin. Drinks flew. A phone smashed against the ceiling. A man yelled a prayer in a language Maya didn't understand. Oxygen masks burst open and fell like white flowers. Maya didn't scream. She reached up, pulled a mask down, and placed it on her face with practiced ease. Her hands were steady. Her eyes were clear. The captain's voice returned. Gone was the calm. Gone was the script. "Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Flight 782. We have lost primary flight controls." Silence followed. Not quiet. Dead. Even the crying paused, as if the words needed time to sink in. Lost flight controls. Maya closed her eyes for half a second. Hydraulics, her brain calculated. Or total control, surface failure. Either way, bad. Very bad. The plane shook violently. A flight attendant fell to one knee, gripping a seat to stop herself from falling. Maya stood up. People stared. "Ma'am," a flight attendant shouted, "please sit down." Maya didn't raise her voice. She didn't rush. She stepped into the aisle like she belonged there. "I need to speak to the cockpit," she said. The attendant looked at her like she was insane. "We're in an emergency." "Yes," Maya replied. "That's why." Another drop. A woman screamed, "We're going to die." The attendant grabbed Maya's arm. "Sit down now!" Maya gently removed the attendant's hand. Her voice was calm, but it carried weight. "Listen to me," she said. "I can help." The attendant laughed once, hysterical. "You're a passenger." Maya leaned closer so only she could hear. "I used to fly combat aircraft," she said. "I recognize this failure, and your captain is running out of options." The attendant froze. Her eyes searched Maya's face. Not arrogance, not fear, experience. Another violent shake. The plane groaned like something alive and wounded. The attendant swallowed hard. What kind of aircraft? Maya didn't hesitate. Fast ones, she said. The attendant looked toward the cockpit door, then back at Maya, then at the screaming cabin behind her. She made a decision. Follow me, she whispered. As they moved forward, the captain's voice came one more time over the speakers, low, strained, almost defeated. Brace for possible impact. Maya closed her eyes briefly. Not in fear, in focus. Okay, she thought. Let's wake up. The cockpit door loomed ahead. Locked. Guarded. Sacred. The flight attendant picked up the intercom phone with shaking hands. Captain, she said, voice breaking, there's a passenger here. She says she can help. A pause, then tired and desperate. Who'd send her in? The door unlocked with a click. Maya stepped forward. Behind her, 162 souls waited, unknowing, hoping, falling. Inside, the air felt different. Hot, tight, electric. Warning alarms screamed from every direction. Red lights blinked like angry eyes. The control yokes shook uselessly in the pilot's hands. The captain, a man in his late 50s, was gripping the controls so hard his knuckles were white. Sweat ran down his temples. The first officer stared at the screens, muttering numbers that no longer seemed to matter. For 1 second, both men turned and looked at Maya, not with hope, with desperation. You said you can help, the captain said. His voice was raw. We've lost hydraulics. Elevators are unresponsive. Ailerons barely answer. Maya didn't sit yet. She looked. She listened. She felt the rhythm of the aircraft through her boots. How much trim do you have? She asked. The first officer blinked. Manual trim only, slow response. That's enough, Maya said. The captain laughed, short, broken. Enough to crash. Maya finally sat in the jump seat. Enough to fly, she corrected. Another violent dip sent her stomach rising, but her voice stayed steady. Kill the autopilot completely, she said. Don't fight the aircraft. She's already fighting you. The captain hesitated. Years of training screamed, never let go. The plane lurched again. Do it, Maya said louder now. The captain flipped the switch. The alarms changed. Not gone, but different. Lower. Softer. The plane steadied slightly, like a wounded animal that stopped panicking. Maya leaned forward. Okay, she said. Now listen to her. The first officer stared at her. Listen to the plane. Maya nodded. She wants to fly. We just have to stop forcing her. She pointed. Engine thrust, small adjustments only. Use power for pitch, trim slow, gentle, no sudden moves. The captain followed her instructions. The nose dipped, then stabilized. For the first time in minutes, the vertical speed indicator stopped spinning wildly. The first officer exhaled sharply. We're holding altitude. Maya didn't smile. Not for long, she said. We need a runway. The radio crackled. Flight 782, radar contact unstable. Confirm status. The captain grabbed the mic. Flight 782 is in manual control. Limited authority. Request immediate landing clearance. Static. Then air traffic control returned, tense, focused. Nearest long runway is Silver Peak Airfield, 20 miles, weather marginal. Maya leaned in. How long is the runway? Just over 10,000 feet, the controller answered. Maya nodded once. That'll do. The captain stared at her. We're heavy, full fuel, no flaps. Maya met his eyes. Then we don't float, she said. We commit. Below them, clouds rolled like grey waves. The plane shook constantly now, but it was controlled, shaking, alive, not dying. Inside the cabin, passengers clutched each other. Some whispered prayers, others stared forward, silent, resigned. A little boy asked his mother, "Are we going to make it?" She hugged him and said nothing. In the cockpit, time stretched. Every second mattered. Maya guided them through each movement. Power back, slow. Trim. 2 clicks. Hold that. Good, don't chase it. The runway appeared through a break in the clouds. Thin, distant, real. The captain's breath hitched. I've never landed like this, he admitted. Maya's voice softened, but didn't weaken. You're not landing it, she said. We are. Wind slammed the aircraft. The nose wobbled. The first officer cursed. Stay with me, Maya said calmly, eyes on the numbers. The ground rushed closer. Too fast, too steep. Easy, she whispered, easy. At 200 feet, a sudden gust shoved the plane sideways. The left wing dipped. Passengers screamed. The captain fought the yoke. Let it go, Maya said sharply. Correct with power. He did. The engines roared. The plane leveled. 100 feet. 50. The runway filled the windshield. Now, Maya said, reduce power. The wheels slammed into the runway. Hard. The plane bounced. Once. Twice. The captain nearly pulled back. No, Maya shouted. Hold it, hold it! The third contact stayed. Reverse thrust. Brakes screamed. Fire trucks raced alongside, lights flashing red through the cockpit windows. The plane slowed. End of runway approaching fast. The captain stood on the brakes. Finally, they stopped. Silence. Not the quiet of fear, the quiet of survival. For a moment, no one spoke. Then the first officer laughed, a shaky, broken sound. The captain leaned forward, hands trembling. Over the intercom, someone in the cabin started clapping. Then another. Then the entire plane erupted, crying, shouting, cheering. The captain turned to Maya. His eyes were wet. You saved us, he said. Maya unbuckled her harness slowly. We saved each other, she replied. She stood and headed for the door. In the cabin, passengers stared as she walked back to her seat. Some recognized her. Some didn't. A woman grabbed her hand, crying. A man whispered, "Thank you." The little boy smiled at her like she was a superhero. Maya sat down in 18A again. Same seat, same window. The engines were off now. Outside, emergency crews surrounded the aircraft. Inside, everyone was alive. A flight attendant approached her, voice shaking. What did you fly?" Maya looked out the window at the open sky. "Once," she said softly, "everything that tried to kill me." The captain's voice came over the intercom one last time. "Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to an extraordinary passenger, we are safely on the ground." Applause thundered. Maya closed her eyes. For the first time since the flight began, she rested. Because sometimes the world doesn't know it needs you.